stage. Everybody is so well dressed that it's
Except
throwing me
for-
off. I mean, you guys look, well, I'm not counting the band and me, but like you guys, very classy. You've elevated the whole.
Thank you. Well, we heard that Rich Spade was back in town.
That's, well, you heard that because I was standing next to you backstage.
And I couldn't help but hear the bellow of your tinkering voice.
Well, ladies, the stage belongs to you.
Thank you, sire. Thank you. Thank you. Good morrow to you all. Thank you. You want me to give you the pep talk I gave you yesterday about Canadians being too polite to make noise? Thank you. Have you guys met Ruth Connell? Welcome to the stage, Ruthie.
So nice to be here. So what you're saying is we've got a bunch of rude Canadians?
Well, this is the thing, is like every time, and I'm sure you've heard this, every time we come to a Canadian city, often Toronto, we haven't been here in a few years, people remark about how quiet everybody is. See? Yeah. Sorry, it just takes one Scot. So I gave him a licking yesterday. You heard me. You heard me. They're doing good. They're doing good, especially considering it's, I don't know what time it is.
What time is it?
Yeah.
Early.
Are we late?
11:30.
Are we all
We
late?
are late. We're running late. Yeah. Okay. 36. Right.
All right, calm down.
All right.
We're all in this together now.
My Swiss watch says.
Okay. I want to talk to you guys about something really quick. We were talking about backstage. There is a good chance that everyone on this stage, at some point during this panel, will leave the stage to go have a pee or a poo. Okay?
Don't call me out like that. Don't call me out like
You called yourself out just now!
I'm the only one that might have to poop.
I need everybody to wrap their
Everybody
minds
poops.
around that. I know you have paid all of the money to see just these 4 women on stage. Thank you. Thank you. But we are only humans.
Yeah, and we sometimes have very, very human experiences.
Yes.
Yes, it is that time of the morning on our body clocks.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I have ordered another coffee, so you are welcome. All right, shall we take a question?
Yes, please.
Hello, what's
Hello,
your
sir.
name?
Yes. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you want?
That's right.
It's only cute when you say it.
No, do it again. Do a Ruth again.
What's your name? Where are you from? What do you want?
My name's Aislinn. I'm from Midland, but I'm going to college in Belleville. And I know I've asked Kim and Briana this before, so I'm going to point this more towards Lisa and Ruth. But what do you think makes a strong female character?
Muscles. No, seriously. Other than that, no, but like that's what was amazing about Wonder Woman. The whole opening sequence for me, I cried at the opening sequence of Wonder Woman because we were actually just seeing women being physically strong and empowered, and that's so rare. And other than that, I love seeing complex female characters, which is different to being strong, because I don't think we have to be strong. I think we have to be interesting and complex and layered, and also sometimes really tough and strong. I think sometimes strength can be quietness. It can be in not saying something. It can be in conceding, allowing. There's many different ways to be strong that we don't talk about as women. Was that what you meant? Is that what you were getting at? What do you think is makes a strong woman?
I think it's just like for a female character, anyone who has motivations and sort of passions outside of supporting the male character, like not doing something because they have to help the male character.
Oh, you mean
but
so an actual character?
an actual character? Yeah.
Well done, yeah.
Just like having their own motivations and like emotional vulnerability, because I feel like we don't see that except making fun of women for emotional vulnerability. So emotional vulnerability that's like supported and empowered.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that in.
Yeah, what she said.
What she said. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant thing, and I actually had almost the exact identical answer to you yesterday. is the idea like why are we considering emotional vulnerability a weakness? Why is that not a strength? We talked about this a little bit this morning in our meet and greet. It's just going, why are we not honoring where we're at as part of our journey? And by honoring where we're at as part of our journey, that actually does make us grow stronger. And through media, I think that they've created these ways of pigeonholing women as strong women and weak women, when really weak women are actually in the middle of a journey becoming the strong woman that you see in media. So all of it is incredibly important.
I also think it's incredibly important for men. I think in this growing femininity that the world is allowing, I do think there is a change, and it allows men to be vulnerable too. And to be for everyone to then grow and develop. I think it helps mankind, everybody, when women are allowed to be everything that they are. That makes sense.
Great. She says A-OK. She's happy with that answer. Thank you. God.
Victoria!
It's victorious.
This is the worst idea ever, I want you to know.
Enjoy. I can't wait.
Enjoy your diuretics.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see who's the first one that's going to leave the stage.
I think I went past the point.
Oh, really? It's gone back inside?
I really needed I needed in the elevator, but it was too late to turn back.
Yeah, because the bathrooms aren't close, you guys. Or are there bathrooms out there that are close?
Yeah.
So maybe
Victoria's like, you shut the fuck up, Briana. We're not going out there. Does that mean she has to come too?
maybe we could all go together.
Make it part of the panel. A traveling panel to the loo.
Let's get the band back out here. The girls are having an emergency. You have to vamp.
No, I can't
Put in
wait.
hold music.
Oh, you guys, I wish we knew when the band was here and we could hide. We should do that.
I sometimes...
Let's just hide.
I was going to say, I sometimes do that accidentally when I'm walking around because I'm so small I can't see. I'm not hiding. I'm over here!
No, because
Yeah,
there's
good.
a screen in the back, so they would see that there was nobody on. Wouldn't that be fun, though? Oh, I fucking love a good shenanigan. All right. Let's take another question.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name? Where are you from? What do you want?
My name is Allison. I'm from Hamilton. And
Yeah, Hamilton! I know where that is.
There's a place in Scotland called Hamilton, except you say Hamilton.
That's how you say it in Canada, too.
Oh, it's the same.
Hamilton. Okay, yes.
so my question is for each of you, thinking of the other three who are on stage, if you could describe each of their supernatural characters in one word, what would it be?
Okay.
Okay.
I've got power, presence, joy.
All right. I feel like mine would be the same. Same as Kim.
I got wisdom. I would do the same with joy over here, and love.
I'm getting confused between my
It's
friends.
the characters or the actors, yeah.
Still shenanigans. Still shenanigans, deathly, and the reckoning.
That's 2 words.
Sorry, reckoning, just reckoning.
That's great. That was a really hard question, so you can sit down now. Well done. Well done. I actually was downstairs going, oh, fuck, Rachel Minor's not here. Who's going to answer all my questions for me? I'll drink my coffee. Hello, Jackson.
Hi again.
Hello, you.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi again.
Sweet shirt, man. Are you a big fan of Calgary Flames?
Yes, it was a shirt. I was just going through it because we had to go down here, so
Looks great.
chose this.
Love it.
Okay, well.
Yeah. So
What's up, buddy?
I have a question for Ruth. Is it Ruth? Yeah, Ruth. Sorry, I'm new.
I forget sometimes as well.
Oh, you can stay, sir.
If you could bring in any spell from the show, which show would it be to the real world? Which spell?
Oh, I like, it's honestly because it's the only one I remember. because it's one word or it's really short, and I go, a bee, and the person flies across the room.
That's genius.
I think we can all remember that.
Yeah.
And we can all do that one. A bee! And then that's it.
Especially when you're stuck in traffic.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
It might be for a car, it might be a big bee. It's actually Latin, but like you turn it to a big bee. Do you like that one?
Yes.
Cool, I'm glad.
Yeah, you won 'em
So the
over.
one I remember. Thank you for your question.
Thanks, Jackson.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Jackson.
Jackson.
Good work.
Bye.
Hi. So my question is for all four of you. Everyone has their comfort food and go-to movie. What's your guys's?
Where's Rachel?
Nobody's ready for Top Gun 2?
Is Top Gun your go-to movie?
One of them.
Really?
Is. I was obsessed when I was 13. I was going to marry Tom Cruise. Then I realized
Oh, well.
the whole Scientology
Yes.
thing was, it was the only thing stopping us. Not that we've never met or anything like that. That, and I really like rice. Seriously, I love rice. And tempeh, which is basically compacted rice. Which can
love rice cake.
Rice cake.
I love fried rice. I don't think I've ever seen you eat rice.
Really?
No.
I can make it from scratch in the microwave in 2 minutes. And just cheese and some like,
Butter.
cashew nuts on it and just rice. It's awesome.
I used to love rice with butter. Just a lot
yeah.
of just
Just rice and it's
get
all-
it in my belly, yeah.
I'm just gonna be quiet now for 5 minutes.
My go-to, it depends on what I need. My go-to when I need a good cry is Beaches. I mean, I start crying when she's like, and I'm Cece Bloom! And the tears just go. But I know I need it because it's cathartic. And Terminator 2 is my go-to action one. Obsessed. So I'm very excited about the new Terminator coming out with Linda Hamilton.
She looks amazing.
She looks like such a badass.
There's a strong woman. Like,
Oh,
literally.
that's a strong woman. I just, like me and my sister just watched the Terminators again, and in the second one, we were like, girl, you need to just have another gun, because you were just one gun shy of actually taking him out. And then in the trailer for the sequel, she's like, I got that other gun. And it got like, no! So I lost it. If you haven't seen it, go check the trailer. And food is anything sweet. Anything sweet. Well, no, that's not true. Anything salty sweet. So it's like salty sweet, salty sweet, salty sweet, like back and forth.
Like you're one of the people that breaks up chocolate into your popcorn.
Oh, come on, that's delicious.
I mean, yeah.
Everybody's
Do
that
that.
kind of people.
I've never put chocolate in rice. I've never done that. But I have.
Whoa! We got something to do on lunch break.
No, you have just popped rice.
Popped up, but else,
Like
yeah.
a Nestle Crunch or something
I
like
do,
that.
and I
Popped rice, you've had
eat
chocolate.
rice cakes smothered in chocolate.
There, see?
Same thing. Just not hot rice with chocolate.
Ruth no longer eats food unless it has rice in it somewhere.
But it's like
love
chocolate
that.
and then like chips or then like gummies and
You get
then
sweet and then
sweet
salty.
and salty. So just a lot.
My favorite movie, honestly, the thing that for years, if I'm like cleaning or I'm like avoiding learning lines or something in the background, I always have on Sex and the City. Always. When I was like 20 and I just moved to the big city from a farm town, I just wanted to have that lifestyle. I wanted to live in New York and I wanted to like have, these girlfriends, and I did end up having that lifestyle, and I just love it. It reminds me of being 20 and being hopeful about my life. Remember that time? Cute. But I have a lot of favorite movies, but a movie that I was talking about yesterday that reminded me how much I love that movie is Tommy Boy, which is a Chris Farley movie, R.I.P. And I don't have a comfort food. I've given this soapbox conversation about food before, but I don't believe in comfort food. I'm like, we should stop labeling food as good or bad, and we should listen to our bodies, and we should love our bodies enough to go, what does my body feel like it needs, wants, deserves today? And whatever food that is, you fucking enjoy.
I recently discovered that a thing I make that I really do derive comfort from because I love it and it's delicious is apparently not something everybody makes, but I make dumplings from scratch. And they are delicious. And I make them a little bigger. I don't make them like colossal size, but I also don't make them like little tiny noodles. I make them like little biscuits with some savory and homemade soup. And this apparently is not a big thing, but I love them. So chicken soup and dumplings that I've made is a great thing. And then I have two movies. The one that is predictable and you will all go, yeah, of course it is Princess Bride. Because, yeah, of course, most quotable movie ever. And the one that may be a slightly bigger surprise to you is Grosse Point Blank. Which I think is one of the most underrated, brilliant movies of all time. So that's my other go-to movie.
My favorite movie is also The Princess Bride. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just further to what you said about Sex and the City, I feel like that was my education in a lot of ways, slightly misconstrued perhaps. But it's taken me a long time, but I'm getting my bathroom done. And I'm getting the subway tiles for the first time in my life, white subway tiles, because that's what her bathroom is.
I love that.
Anyway, Sex and the City. That is the most exciting thing that's happening to me at the moment.
That is exciting. That's great.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for being inspirational women and inspirational characters and bringing life to them. It's just wonderful. My question is, and Lisa said this yesterday, she's quite motivational, especially dealing with clients in working out. But my favorite motivational quote is from Barack Obama, which is, be kind, be useful, and be fearless. So I'm just wondering, whomever wants to answer, what is your favorite inspirational, motivational quote?
A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Nelson Mandela.
My favorite quote that I've said a number of times, and I actually had etched on a hat, is an Isadora Duncan quote, which is, "You were wild once, darling, don't let them tame you."
Mine, predictably, is maybe a little less traditionally inspirational. But it's a Rumi quote that says, "We are all broken, the cracks let the light in."
The only one that I can remember right now, because I love quotes, is "Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid," which is Goethe. And I learned that when I was in Faust, and I was 30 years old, and it was the first time that I was being taught, because I was in a play, being taught about what the feminine was. Goethe wrote however many hundred years ago about the masculine and the feminine, and honestly, at the age of 30, I was just beginning to learn. So that quote is not just about being bold. To me, it encapsulates that ethos. So be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid.
And very true. Very true.
Hello. Hello. I first want to thank Kim for the hug yesterday. I'm going through some really bad things this week. But my question is, what advice would you give someone who feels like the world keeps coming down around them?
Why are you all looking at me? Fuck off!
I'll go first then.
Yes, please.
First of all, you're not alone. I think we all know what you're talking about. It often feels like that. One thing goes wrong, then the next, and the next, and the next. And an excruciatingly low point. One of my best friends put on social media. She didn't say my name. She just put it everywhere, and it was the quote: "Fall down 8 times, stand up 9." And you're doing it. You're here.
I lost my dad Monday, and we just found out one of my best friends is diagnosed with leukemia. So this week is really, really tough, but thank you.
This will not bring you emotional relief because grief heals in its own time. It will heal. It will never feel the same, but there is a gift in every drop of pain if you get to the other side of it. But something someone told me once that really helps is that grief is love with no place to go. So every single speck of pain we feel at loss is actually gratitude for what we had in the first place. So feel it, honor it, love it. You were loved. He was so grateful to have you. And this is life. You're okay. You're here. The best gift you can give yourself and those you love is to keep living.
Hi.
Oh my gosh. I'm Mondeluna, and I wanted to thank you guys for being inspiration to so many. And my question is, what are some more things you hope to accomplish, like, I guess, in your life? Because you've done so many things so far, and I know it's a big question, but yeah, that's it.
World domination? Oh no, that's Rowena. Sorry. Lisa? Briana? Kim?
What are things we hope to accomplish in our life?
Yeah, just like other things.
I'd like to write a book.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was to state a thing now, it would limit me. It's a weird thing to say, but I feel like every year of my life gets better. And part of that is because every year of my life, I get smarter. I learn lessons better. I take time to learn the lessons as opposed to avoiding it and creating new traumas within me, you know? But I want everything. I really do. I want it all. And I don't think that anything is impossible. We were talking backstage about foolishness. I really feel very foolish in the funnest of ways because I just think that I can do anything. I'm not going to attempt to fly in front of you, but yeah, today. Just wait till I'm done this coffee. But every year I try to do something that I don't know how to do. And if I'm not given an opportunity, I create an opportunity. And that's tricky to do as you get older and as there are outside influences telling you that you can't do things because that is their fear they're projecting onto you, which is fair. We all have fears, and that's okay. It's our jobs to not absorb those fears and to love their fears for them and to love them for their fears, and we do our own thing anyway. So I say just fly, do it all, do everything.
I think as I've gotten older, you know, and I wrote about this a couple of years ago because, you know, goals don't really work for me because I find when I set a goal, it's really because I want a feeling. And so I set feeling goals. and I know and that's something that I can genuinely be like, have I achieved that? Rather than, have I written the book? Have I landed the lead on the show? Have I made the movie? Because when I say that, I think I'm ultimately meaning, have I found a level of peace within myself? Have I found a level of comfort within myself? Have I found a level of appreciation for the gifts that have been given me? Have I been able to use them, you know?
Were you all done, Lisa?
I would love to hear what Kim said.
No, I'd like to contribute a follow-up question, however. At the same time, I think something you do so beautifully is identify ways to be of service to this world. And wouldn't you call those goals?
Ultimately, when I'm being of service, it's me aligning and then taking the inspiration. So it alleviated the busy work and created inspirational work. So it doesn't always feel like it's work and more just like if someone on high were to say, Lisa, I need you to sing tonight. And I'm like, these are not the choices I would make for myself. But if that's where I'm supposed to be and that's what I'm supposed to do, and my goal isn't to sing, my goal is to feel connected, and my goal is to feel grounded, then I can achieve that more than my goal is to sound pretty, or my goal is to sing a song or make an album. When I say that, if I say I want to make an album, what I'm saying is I want to feel confident and free singing. You know what I mean? So the goal is something that I can hit every single day, rather than I can walk up and one day it'll be there. You know what I mean? So if I want to write a book, I want to be clear with my thoughts. I want to be clear with my intentions. I want to be clear with how I'm of service to people, and I can do that every day. And in the end, it might look like a book. In the end, it might look like a TV show that you've created. In the end, it might look like, a community you've established, a tribe, you know what I mean? But like Briana said, I feel like by actually giving it a name, I limit it, because what I'm really after is a deeper connection, a deeper sense of self, deeper meaning in why I'm here.
Understood. Thank you. I'm glad I asked my question.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling on me.
I just had a memory that my first introduction to you was hearing you is in the appetizer when you sang. I just remembered, I just realized my first thing was hearing you. And just when you're talking about singing, I know, just what you're saying, if I set a goal of singing a song in tune, I'm fucked. But if I turn up, I get to commune with you all, then that's it.
God, but it's so. Oh, hello. Now the coffee just hints out of the fields. But it's so much scarier to do that. If I had a goal for tonight to sing a song on tune, it all goes away. It's a nice cerebral idea. The possibility of failure is very real, but fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna go see if I can be on tune. But the fact is, tonight I'm doing something different that I've never done before. I'm not going to be angry. And this is what my anger covers up. My anger always covers fear and sadness. And so, I would much rather set a goal of singing a song in tune than being authentic, knowing that my authenticity is terrified sadness. What the fuck? Why do any of us live? Why did I even show up today?
I don't know when you were ever not anything but authentic anyway. So
The difference is that now
Thank you.
are.
I need this today. Thank you.
Now you're trying to throw you're showing your authenticity in a form that you do not feel completely grounded in, which is in singing.
Yes.
So because you were always nervous about singing, you could show up as the character of Angry Kim Rhodes.
Yes.
And you're
I
a
enjoy
very
that
talented
character.
actor.
She's super
We all
fun.
enjoy that character, but we also all really know the real Kim Rhodes, because you show her here, you're showing her here right now, you show her here in meet and greets constantly. So when you show up as real Kim Rhodes, nobody's gonna go, oh no, that's not who we wanted.
Someone broke her. Could someone just turn her off and turn her back on again?
You might think
that will probably
you
work.
might think that you're hiding her, but we all see her.
Oh, fuck off.
It's just like a podcast episode.
I know, it's come back to. But point being, I am echoing what you were saying, which is if I set the goal, all of a sudden it's the goal ultimately is always showing up for myself, being authentic.
I did it with you when we were doing Son of a Preacher Man. I could not sing it in tune for the life of me, but I was just all I was doing was and you didn't care, did you? No, really. She's off tune. Fuck it.
More things in life than being on tune.
That you just asked your question hoping we would all tell you I'm doing Walker, Texas Ranger.
Fun.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
It's that was a questionable thank you, but I'm glad. I love you.
I love
Thank
you
you.
too.
Hi.
Hi.
So I think you just answered my question a little bit. But,
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Kim, I met you. I got an autograph from you last year in Pittsburgh, and I mentioned that I was like worried about like my alcohol consumption and alcohol use, and so I celebrated 1 year sober September 12th.
In Los Angeles, we say happy birthday. Apparently nobody else says happy birthday. They say happy anniversary, but happy fucking birthday.
Thank you. It's changed everything. So much better. I was going to ask, I hope it's not too far to ask, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm not allowed to talk about it though, because there's the second A stands for anonymous. Sorry. So great. Happy, still sick, still recovering.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. So I told Kim about this yesterday, but I just finished directing my first short film.
Yeah.
And firstly, I want to...
Can I be in it? Can I be in your next one?
Sure.
Okay, I was like, she's gonna laugh and say no.
Firstly, I wanted to thank you guys, you ladies, for helping me find the strength in myself to tell the story. And second, I wanted to ask if you have any advice for someone going into filmmaking.
No.
I think the advice I heard Richard give somebody else was pick up a camera and just do it, and you're already doing that. That's amazing. What's your film called?
It's called Ace AF.
Yeah. What's it about?
What?
What is it about?
What is it? There you go. What's it about?
It's about asexuality.
Oh.
You know, who was it? Luke Perry. You posted something about what Luke Perry said, so I thought that was really good too, because I always think it's important to just really go out there and try and have your own experiences, because everything and everyone is having such a different vibe all the time, and it's up and down and in and around, and you talk to 2 other people and they'll say this, and you talk to 3 other people and they'll say that. So Luke Perry's advice, if I'm correct, was show up on time, be nice always, and to everyone, and do your work. And the rest will take care of itself. And I thought that was really good advice, because I was like, have your own experience, because you will, and that's what it's about. But be on time, be nice to everybody, and do your work.
Yeah, it's very Canadian. I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know if I need to be nice to everyone. I feel like if I told a woman to be nice to everyone, I would not agree with that statement. But Luke Perry can say that. I think it's a beautiful statement, and everything that was behind that was right on. I think, listen, if the question was like, what is your advice for an upcoming filmmaker? I cannot give you advice on how to be famous or rich, but the fact is that if you want to be a creative soul in this planet, all you have to do is do. All you have to do is be. All you have to do is create. And then you are that person. So again, going back to the last question of talking about goals, if your goal is to, have, Charlize Theron be in one of your films, I mean, fucking go for it. She's dope. But if your goal is to create, then you're already doing it. And I would say keep doing that and keep learning and keep growing and just never be done. That's it.
Thank you.
This is really quick. Helen Mirren's advice, I've seen it on tape, is don't be late, the same as Luke Perry, and don't be boring. Yeah. I was like, that's so intimidating.
I love that, yeah.
But that freaks me out straight away. Because sometimes you want to make a simple choice, and what you're saying is like this. Like,
Ruth, you could never be boring. You're fine.
I'm pretty boring, often on a Friday night. Hi.
Hello. I was interested in all of your opinions on the kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back that constantly happens with not only the entertainment industry, but in society in general on tattoos, particularly women with tattoos, and kind of where we stand with that, and do you think it's getting better on the stigma around it, or is it still kind of staying stagnant?
What's your experience on the stigma around it?
I have been have back in a job before. And I've also just socially, I've gotten a lot of everything from horrible looks to people won't talk to me to just that's the word, judgment around it, and just having tattoos. And they're not offensive, and they're part of who I am, and I love them. I love every single one I have, and I would never change it for the world. But I'm wondering if you think it is moving in the right direction on that within the entertainment industry as well, because there's a lot around women with tattoos, particularly women, and just what it means.
Well, I think that I am going to give this to Kim, because I think she has an experience with this that I want her to tell the story. But something I don't like about what is happening with tattoos and women in media is that tattoos are being over-sexualized. And so you don't see very often moms with like a sleeve. You see women who are like, you know, riding a motorcycle and wearing like hot pants or whatever. And that's cool too. I'm just saying that I don't think they're being represented in media. I've not had a negative experience with my tattoos, but I've worked in the, you know, creative industry / service industry for most of my life. And the only people that are tattooed more than tattoo artists are chefs. So I don't have that experience, which is why I asked you about that. I know I've talked to a lot of people who are in different careers who do struggle with, you know, body adornments, and I have lots of body adornments. I have lots of piercings. I have lots of tattoos, and I don't plan on stopping that anytime soon. But I just feel like and I have a career and a life where I can do this, so I recognize the privilege that I hold. But when somebody doesn't like something I do, I send them on their way. I don't allow it to bother me. I just don't. But I recognize that is a privilege in my life. I have no advice for you because you're obviously going through something with some higher ups, it sounds like. In the past, yeah. Got anything?
I wish it did. Jody doesn't have tattoos because it's a character choice. Jody's not someone that's going to be like, why am I going to spend time and money giving myself pain to put stuff on my body? I've got enough scars. Fuck off. Kim has lots of tattoos. And the only time I actually was on a show where I was hired to only say one sentence, and I ended up shooting a bunch of episodes for the first season called Colony. And the character was a mom of 2 kids, and she was an EMT, and they let me have my tattoos. And they weren't sexualized, they weren't focused on, they just were like, no, we think this character would have tattoos, sure, fine. And it was a non-issue. I think, here's the thing. Ooh, I felt a soapbox coming on.
Are you sitting
Anytime, yeah. Anytime a woman makes a statement with her body that makes someone uncomfortable, it becomes an issue. It becomes your job to take care of their feelings. It becomes your job to not express yourself because of their response. Fuck that. I'm done. It was a very small soapbox.
It actually makes me think, not to sound overly religious, but it makes me sound of a quote I heard recently, which is like, sometimes rejection is God's protection. So when people drift away from you or fall off because they don't like your tattoos, bye.
They're not your people.
They're not your people. And that's just
These are your
way-
people.
Exactly. It's just another way to actually be in a space where you're like, then you'll find your tribe where they're like, girl, I love your tattoo. Where'd you get it? You know, let's get matching tattoos. Like it'll be a different world.
Or even, your body is none of my business.
Exactly.
I might have an opinion on your tattoos, but it's not my right to have an opinion on your tattoos at all, one way or the other. Your body is your job.
Yeah.
Do what you want with it.
Yeah, I always love that quote. Very similar to this one. You might be too much for some people. Those are not your people. They're not. And they're not bad people. Or maybe they are. I don't know. But probably not. I just think, we were talking about this yesterday. It's just like, in general, this is adjacent to the tattoo conversation, is there are many people in this world. Everybody has a lot of baggage. Everybody has things that they've experienced in their lives that have affected them and continue to affect them, and they continue to be triggered by, and everybody's doing the best they can in this world, and there will be people in this world that you just don't mesh with. They are not bad people. You are not a bad person. Set them free. Those are not your people. You find your people and love those people that you didn't choose. It's all okay. We all just need to love each other, just some we need to love from afar.
It's a bit like the Ellen conversation this week, because she was sitting in the box with somebody who had differing political opinions. And the whole point is that we should be able to sit beside somebody who seems to be very different from us and, and still be okay. They're allowed to be them, we're allowed to be us, yeah.
Well, the thing that you guys know the term duality? Oh, we're really gonna get into it now. I think this is how wars are created and discourse on this planet is created, is by convincing ourselves of the idea that we are separate when we're not. Okay. Don't do it, Kim.
No, I'm just gonna say this and then I'm gonna leave it. But people also get to have consequences for their actions.
Oh, that is not, you understand that's not what I'm saying.
Yes.
So
No,
that was
I
a
just
yes and, not a but. Okay, so I think that what is happening is when we have, this is, what you're doing is looking at the other side of that. So when somebody goes, I'm disagreeing with what you're saying, and they're thinking that they're separate from you, they're doing things that they're starting wars in whatever small ways. We all need to recognize that there's a little piece of each of us within each other. And once we recognize that, then it's easier to have empathy towards that. And we're all just a little bit kinder to each other. Okay?
Hi, ladies.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? So my question is for Ruth, because you weren't here yesterday. But thank God for you too, because I've seen your dancing, and it is beautiful. So I'm wondering, is there any future opportunities for more dancing or choreography for you? Because honestly, your body it's just beautiful the way it moves when you dance. So I'm curious if there's anything in the future.
There's only one thing in the future dancing-wise, and that is tonight. Are you all going to be here?
It's my favorite. I love it so much. Whatever's happening, everybody stops and goes and watches the screen during Ruth's thing.
It's all I got to hang on to while I sing off tunes.
Nobody's listening to you in that song, Ruth.
That's the plan. Thank you so much. I grew up dancing and I threw it away. I threw it away when I was 24 because I wanted to be an actor. And at the time, you couldn't be more than one thing. Women, especially, you were either an actor, or you were a singer, or you were a dancer. And it was weird. It was before Chicago and all the musicals came out, and it became cool to be a triple threat or a double threat or a 2.5, whatever it is that you have. And I really now appreciate it, and I would love to utilize it. I would love to find a way to use it. And I really am into this thing about dancing at whatever age. Juliette Binoche did a show in London a few years ago, and they had a woman of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and they had an 80-year-old woman on stage, all moving. And I think it goes for the same with disability, with anything, and I'm all for that, and I would love to create something. So thank you. You've given me a little bit of a jildy up. You've given me a little bit of a push.
I'll give you a push, honestly. It's beautiful. Your body just is beautiful when it moves.
That was a nervous response. I nervously did the splits. Okay, hi.
Hi, ladies. I was wondering, as grown adults with responsibilities, what are things that you may do that someone outside your core group of friends or acquaintances, family members, may consider selfish or self-indulgent, but you consider self-care?
Oh, yeah.
Great question.
Oh. Were you in my house this week listening to my... Do you have a phone tap? I don't know if I need to get my thoughts together before I...
Okay, I will. I spend a great deal of time and money riding in small circles on a horse that's trying to kill me. That's by many people not only frivolous and selfish, but also quite stupid. Don't care, still gonna do it.
I don't experience this so much with family, but I think for me, with the kind of personality I have, a big personality, I have learned to set very strong boundaries. And that is uncomfortable for some people. But it is such self-preservation for me, and also I have a lot of energy. And it is not unlimited, so I need to conserve, preserve, recharge, and I do that through setting boundaries.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one with boundaries. And in the beginning, when you first set boundaries, because now the people who are in my life, they love my boundaries because I show up as my best self every time we get to see each other. They're not getting me when I'm like, man, I hate it, and life sucks, and I just can't be bothered. When really what I need is to just watch beaches. But in the beginning, it was really, really hard because if I needed to go into like my bat cave and just chill, or just, binge watch whatever and be by myself or listen to music. I mean, I spent a year in meditation and came out and people were like, you don't know about Beyonce's new video album? And I was like, do tell. And I was ready to come back out, but I mean, a lot of people in that time were just like, where did Lisa go? And I was like, I went in, and I do that a lot. So the people who are in my life now, they get it. They're like, oh, she's going in. Or when it's their turn, I'm like, oh, they're going in, and you just do your checks, and you see what somebody needs, and you just respect it. But in the beginning, that's really hard, because when you first put up like the gate, people press on it, and they're like, are you sure you should? I don't know if that gate should go there, and like a mother will just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna move that, and honey, so, and then you have to be like, no, mom, the gate goes here. The gate right there, and it takes a second. It takes a second, but then I don't know. In my life, because I've been practicing this for a minute, so I feel a little seasoned with where my boundaries are, and the people that are in my life because they appreciate the boundaries, and I respect theirs. So I don't have that conflict now, but in the beginning it was really, really hard, and I just had to hold firm. Because I had to go say yes when you want to say yes, say no when you want to say no, period. Like those two give me peace on a level.